What's up, gents? So we got a 14-pound prime brisket right here from HEB. Let's go ahead and open it up. Pat this thing dry up a bit. I don't know who this butcher is, man, but they kind of like wanted to get rid of this stuff and then they kind of stopped. But you can see where most of this wants to really pull and get rid of itself. Get rid of it naturally, you know, just by pulling it, but it needs a little help. So we'll go ahead and give it that help. That ought to do it. Trim all this stuff right over here. You can see this big old gash that the butcher did, man. Really don't like it, so I'm gonna try and shape it as best as I possibly can. But yeah, that wasn't really good. So, but I mean, you'll end up having those every now and then. If I got it, I'm 100% certain that you guys might have had something like this too. Flip it on over. Now here comes the fun part. Getting all this big old fat out the way. Make this into about a 1/4 inch, give or take. Doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's pretty close, you'll be fine. The reason I say, well, the reason why a lot of people say 1/4 inch is because it has the right amount of fat. Once it's rendered, it renders really well. That once you get a bite into it, man, it's fantastic. Very important. All right. Scoop this big old thing of fat right over here. From there, just reshape it up a little bit. Getting rid of any of those sharp edges, round it off. But now you can see how everything is flowing even better. So now it's just all about making it nice and uniform. We'll start right over here. Still got a bit more of this fat to go. So let's go ahead and make sure that everything is nice and uniform. There we go. Nice brisket right over here. Really nice, good in shape. I did end up scalping it just a little bit on this side, but that's all right. Now it's time to go ahead and season this thing. So today what we're gonna go ahead and do is we got this Black's seasoning right over here, man. So let's go ahead and get started on that. You can really start seeing a lot of the chili flakes there. Some of the seeds too. There we go. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and leave it like this in the fridge overnight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, folks. So got the brisket right over here. Now I gotta tell you, man, this thing smells amazing. It's very hard to describe, but it almost smells like carne asada a little bit. You know, so that's a little bit strange, but I guess they use a lot of seasonings rather than just salt and pepper. I mean, you see the chili flakes in there as well. So with that, let's go ahead and put this thing in there. We are running live oak. That's gonna be the wood for today. Well, usually always. If you guys haven't seen the video of the Snake River Farms comparison, you can see where I put two briskets side by side. Really good video. All right. And we'll see you guys in a couple hours. All right, gents. So it's been, what, 11 hours off of this small brisket? It started off at 14 pounds, but after trimming or so, I believe it came out to about 9 pounds, give or take. Let's go ahead and get this thing out. Look at that. Look at the bark on this thing, man. It's phenomenal. And I thought that some of the stuff from the rub would have caused the rub not to really, would have caused the bark not to really set, right? Because normally it's the salt and the pepper. Supposedly the pepper assists with the bark and everything. One of the reasons why I didn't do a wrap or anything like that, I've been doing no wrap briskets a lot recently. And I gotta tell you, man, it's pretty good. So we'll go ahead and let this thing rest. Now, something that Black's Barbecue does is that, at least from the videos that I've seen here, is that they'll go ahead and let this thing rest in the fridge overnight or a couple of days. So that's exactly what I'm going to go ahead and do. I put it to the sous vide at 145 for about 2.5 hours. I think it was more like 245 or so. Hopefully that's more than enough time. So let's go ahead and get to it. Look at this. Let's look at the fat. Bro, it goes all the way. So this thing is nice and rendered. All right, let's go ahead and get some slices off of the flat, shall we? Let's see, the grains, I believe they're going this way. Grains are going this way. So let's go ahead and get some of this flat action right over here. Bro, this thing is super tender. Look at that. Go ahead and get a bite. Has a very Texas flavor, man. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys right over here. You see this fat? Look at that. Look, oh man. This fatty part is the best part, man. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Let's go ahead and go with the point. Oh, bro, look at that. Let's go with this side right over here. Let's get some of this burnt action right over here. Burnt end action. Look at that. Look at that right there. It's really good, man. Look at this, bro. I don't know, man. For me, the flat is always going to be king. Yes, I really enjoy the point. I really like it. But it's just something about the flat, man. It has a little bit more texture. It has the right amount of fat. And what I mean by that is this fat cap that gets nice and rendered. Look at the juiciness. Nice smoke ring. Yeah, it doesn't add any flavor, but it's really nice to look at. The seasoning itself, though, man, it's very hard to describe because you would think that it's super salty because you can see that it's more like table salt, but it's not salty at all. The chili flakes doesn't add any spice or anything like that to it. I'm not tasting any of it, but perhaps with the combination, all of them together, it's just a very good brisket altogether. Way different than the Franklin seasonings, way different than anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and be completely honest with you guys. I honestly think that this rub is gonna replace all the other rubs that I have. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the Meat Church Holy Cow, I love the Franklin barbecue rub, I love all the other ones. They're very, very good. I just don't know what it is about this rub, man, that it just has its own flavor profile where it's very traditional Texas with, the best way that I can describe it is with a bit of a carne asada type of flavor. It's very hard to describe, but I think if you give it a shot, You're gonna be very surprised. That's gonna do it for me. This rub is really gonna stick with me, and I'm probably gonna end up using it for briskets from here on out, moving forward, unless there's something else that that comes up or whatever. But I just don't see anything else beating it at this moment. Until next time, guys, be sure to go ahead and like, subscribe. See you in the next one. Later, guys.